for another live stream. I am Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary live on Monday night, December the 28th. Let me adjust something real quick that's on the corner of my eye. There we go, that's better. And welcome, no matter where you are, whether you're in the Steveston area of Richmond, where I am, whether you're in the city of Richmond, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. I truly know, I understand that you could be doing anything else on a Monday halfway between Christmas and New Year's. And if you're here or on your way here or only stopping in for a minute, thank you. You know I do not take you for granted, and I appreciate you being here. As always, as we start off, I invite you to like this video. If you haven't liked it already, I'd like to see the likes match the number of viewers, because that's pretty easy. You just got to click the thumbs up button. I would invite you to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, maybe likely you've already subscribed. That's why you're here. That's why you knew about it. But who knows, if you just happen to stumble across this on your feed, welcome, welcome, welcome. And to everyone that's usually here or you're here for the first time, welcome. Merry Christmas, belated Merry Christmas. In the Catholic faith, we continue to greet each other Merry Christmas because we believe that Christmas goes on for 8 days. Actually, it's called the Octave of Christmas. So we are still in the Christmas season. So Merry Christmas to all of you, and an early Happy New Year. And as I say that, I realize that this is the last live stream of 2020, a year where we've done a lot of fun live streams, a lot of funny memories. Maybe we can talk about that near the end of this, depending on what else we have to talk about. But there is a lot going on. As you know, I told you last week, I won the regular season portion of my fantasy pool, but it was just a top 4 make the playoffs. So I was seeded number 1, of course, and I lost to number 4 last week. And that number 4 took out my son Sean today. So the number 4 seed ended up winning. He had Alvin Kamara, so he had his 54 fantasy points. That makes a big difference. And my son Sean only lost by 9 points actually, so it was very close. So you don't have to hear me talk about fantasy football anymore on here, although it's a nice break. And yeah, a lot of interesting things that happened in the NHL this week. Not a lot happened when it came to the Canucks, aside from watching Podkolzin and Kosmar in the World Junior Championships. We saw Canada's 16-2 win over Germany, and the 3-1 win yesterday. We've seen a lot happen in the NHL though, whether it was a minor trade for Derek Stepan, Ottawa and Arizona, to a major trade, Ottawa and Tampa Bay, Paquette and Coburn going to Ottawa for Gabrick and Nielsen, who Tampa Bay automatically announced that they're going to put them in LTIR. Not that that's a salary cap circumvention at all. Yeah, sure. We saw Corey Perry sign for $750. We saw Michael Frolik sign for $750. We saw Anthony Zizu. Happy to see you, Anthony Sisu and Anthony. You know that guy. He signed with LA. I can barely say his name. Obviously, signed for 1.2. So there's a lot of cheap contracts. That there's a lot of money, a lot of players that you can get for not a lot of money. But as I vlogged about today, I just have a feeling that the Canucks are done. They don't have a lot of salary cap space, but you can always make salary cap space by LTIR or moving guys or whatever. I think the bigger issue, and this is what I try to point out today, is that they don't have a lot of cash, or they have a lot of cash. Aquilini always has a lot of cash, but he may be looking to save some, whether it's his investments, whether it's his real estate. I don't think it's been a great year for anyone in the economy, but especially with Aquilini. My guess is that he's probably said, I don't want to spend much more money. And that's probably why we haven't seen a Travis Green extension to this date. So I think it's a little more complicated than saying, oh, will this guy fit into our system? There might, I don't know this for sure, but there might be a directive from above not to spend much more money. So we'll see how that plays out over the next 2 weeks. But training camp's next week already, and I think things are going to happen pretty quickly. At the end of this stream tonight, I'll talk about my next Zoom chat. I'll talk about my plans for next Monday to get things starting with a bang, and we will go from there. Okay, I'm almost at my 5-minute timing, my 5-minute introduction time limit, so let's get going right now. All right, Fangirl Gaming. Hi, Clay. Now that the schedule's out, what matchup are you looking forward to the most? There's 3 of them I'm looking forward to. Calgary, because of all the ex-Canucks on there. Toronto, because I like seeing their high octane offense, and Montreal, just because it's always an interesting game, the fan engagement. But now that they have Tyler Toffoli, but if I had to pick, I'd still pick Calgary. I think they're the Canucks' biggest rival right now, and I think the fact that Markstrom and Tanev and Levo are all there is gonna even add to the rivalry. So out of all teams, I would pick Calgary. Debut Hunter, don't think I can stay awake for this one. I have that effect on people. Falling asleep, 10:30 p.m. here on my end of week. Worked right through Christmas. Sorry to hear that. But catch you next week, everyone. We'll watch through tomorrow. No problem, Debut Hunter. You just want to be here live next week for sure. Nux 649. Hey Clay, how are you? I am great, Nux. Hope you are doing well as well. Arso, hey Clay, I hope you had a great Christmas week. What did you do with your family? Thank you for asking, Arso. I hope you had a good week as well. A pretty chill week. I wasn't working, as you guys know, and I have this week off, which is awesome. A lot of family time, obviously. The boys were working a little bit at the bowling alley. I bowled a couple times. We did some gift delivery, some gift receiving, a couple of Zoom chats. I'm sure that everyone has been doing over the break. But really, it's been really nice. And this week, I golfed once. I'm going to golf again this Wednesday. And I'm looking forward to spending 2 days solidly on my YouTube channel, trying out a couple things, testing out a couple things for a good launch in the new year. And but overall, things have been really good, really relaxed, getting a lot of rest. Been going to church every morning. You guys know that I stream mass from there, Catholic mass from our church every morning. So that's been good. So overall, I haven't been lazy. I haven't been inactive, but I've just been able to concentrate on non-work things. It was interesting though. We were there's one part in today where all 5 of us were home, but we were all in our respective bedrooms and all on our gadgets, right? Phones, iPads, computers. And I was basically saying to everyone, it's nice that we have this downtime, this chill time, but I don't want any of us to fall in the habit of just resorting back to our rooms and our gadgets. So try to do some good dad parenting, some good parenting there. We'll see how that works out. Arjun, hello Clay, hello Arjun, hope you're well. Fangirl, are you scared about the new strain of COVID now that's in Canada? No, I'm not scared, Fangirl, because yes, we don't know a lot about it. We know it's 70% even more catchable, but I've also heard that it doesn't do as much damage, or it can't do any worse damage than COVID. And with the vaccine coming out, it kind of mitigates it a little bit. So no, I'm not too scared, but it is a reminder for us to follow all the rules, of course. Rob, hi Clay, did you ever listen to the Dan Russell Sports Talk Show when it was on the air in the late 80s and 90s? Coach Rob, indeed, I listened every night, CKNW, and interesting story, my son coaches Dan Russell's son, that's not my son, my brother, start again. My brother Jason coaches Dan Russell's son. So my brother coaches his own son and Dan Russell's son in basketball. So my brother has had a chance to engage with Dan Russell over the past few years. Wheeze, hey Clay, hello Wheeze. That's a new name. I haven't seen that in a while, so welcome. Or maybe I've never seen it. Welcome. Arso, did you hear about Kirby Doc? He's going to miss 4 or 5 months. Was curious how you feel. PD missed 4 or 5 months, getting injured in the international tournament. That's really tough, Arso. It's tough to say because, so I guess that goes to why a team might say, no, don't play in the junior tournament. Then you look like a bunch of jerks, right, if you say that. But you are protecting your investment. Obviously, a fluke injury. That hit wasn't even like a weird one. It was just 2 guys colliding at the blue line. But it's unfortunate. He's a good player. Obviously, I want him to play for Canada in the World Junior Championship. I want Chicago to see not lose a year of him, but they will apparently. So it's really unfortunate. Yeah, of course, I'd be upset if PD or if any of our stars, if Quinn Hughes got hurt last year. But you can't go in with that attitude because it's obviously the exception as opposed to the rule. And it's hard to tell these guys, no, you can't play for your country. So it's unfortunate, but I don't think it's going to make me say anymore, oh, you can't have, high draft picks, first round draft picks playing in the World Junior Championship. BC Neil, Perry is greater than Vertan. Well, he's making 3 times less than him for sure. 7.5, 750 grand. Fangirl, is there still a chance that NHL will have to go in bubble again? I don't think we can write that out, Fangirl. But they're obviously planning not for that to happen. Edmund, hey. You think even with Canucks at the cap, they could give a PTO to Hamnick or Vatanen? They could. You could give a PTO to anyone because you're not tied to them. That's the brilliance of St. Louis in signing Mike Hoffman to that PTO. You don't have to offer him a contract till after training camp is done. But you basically, by signing him to that PTO, you basically prohibit him from going to any other camp. So yeah, I think the Canucks could do that if they wanted to, and then they'd have to make hard decisions on someone else. but we'll see if that shakes out. Great point, Edmund. Wheeze, do you see Jet Wu playing for the Canucks at any point of his career? I do, Wheeze. I see Jet Wu making the team in about 2 or 3 years, and I see him as a third pairing right side defenseman, which we could always use. You know, we're talking about losing Stetcher and others, and not sure who's going to be there either this season or after this season. So yeah, I can see Jet Wu playing for the Canucks in a couple of years. All right, so Merry Christmas and an early Happy New Year to you as well, and everyone here. Thank you, Arcel. Happy New Year to you as well. Edmund, NFL-wise, the Rams are so inconsistent that the loss to the Jets really shook them up. Yeah, the Rams, you know, it's funny. They got such good talent on that team, but yeah, they certainly feel more pretender than contender right now. Peter Hughes, hey Clay, I enjoyed your This Gift video with Marie. Thank you, Peter Hughes. We enjoyed making. Oh, but yeah, that's one thing I guess I didn't talk about. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it, teased it on the stream last week. So along with my chat with Chris Faber on Christmas Eve, I also released our latest Canucks parody song, 98 Degrees. I don't know if any of you are old enough in this chat to remember 98 Degrees. You got to be at least 35 to remember them, or maybe 30. But yes, we did a wonderful video. It was kind of cool because I sent Marie the lyrics and the piano track. She recorded her voice with 4-part harmony, sent it back to me, and then I re-recorded the piano track. So what you see is the final result, obviously, and we are both recording from our respective living rooms. I watched it multiple times. That's awesome, Peter Hughes. I'm glad Schmidt watched it and commented on it. Do you know if Holtby watched it? No, I don't know if Braden Holtby watched it. And thank you, Peter Hughes, for noticing. And I tweeted it about it as well and put it on Instagram that Nate Schmidt acknowledged the video, watched it, and sent me, just commented on Instagram saying it was great. And then that he liked the video both on Instagram and on Twitter. So that was kind of cool. Eduardo, I got a Team Canada jersey. Sweet. You mean this year, 2020? I only have one from the 2016 Olympics, I think. Yeah, Edmund, I'm glad the Seahawks won the division, but I also won't sleep on the Seahawks to win the NFC. It's possible, and I think the Bills will compete in the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, the East is really fascinating with Kansas City, with Pittsburgh, with Buffalo, with even Miami, the Ravens. There are a lot of teams. There's going to be a 10-5 team that misses on the East, AFC, I should say. Whereas in the NFC, you know, you have, you know, New Orleans, and then Seattle, and there's one other team that's 11-4. But then there's like a couple 9-6s, and then of course NFC East teams can be Dallas or Washington or New York at 6-10, which is ridiculous. Oh, here we go. Dexter is helping me out. Athanasiu. Oh, there. Dexter, thank you. Athanasiu. Athanasiu. I'm just gonna say that all night. No, I can't even say it all night now. Athanasiu. Okay, thank you, Dexter. Wheeze. Also, what do you think is DiPietro ceiling? Backup goaltender. I think he can play in the NHL. I'm not sure if he's an everyday starter. Nick says, hi, Clay. Hello, Nick. Jet, hi, Clay. I'm new to hockey, and I love you and your channel. Well, Jet, first of all, welcome. And thank you for the kind words. I'm glad that you like hockey. Jet, where are you from? And yeah, if you stick with me on this channel, you're going to get daily vlogs. You're going to get some post-game live streams once the games get going. And when I'm a season ticket holder, so when I'm at the arena, I can give you some insight from being at the arena. Maybe not this season, of course. So I'm glad that you're here. And Jet, I trust that you subscribe. But if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Dominic, hey Clay, long time no see. Ditto. I miss you, man. How are you? And do you think we'll get rid of Sutter? Okay, those are two questions kind of slammed in the same sentence. I'm doing great. Thank you. Do I think we'll get rid of Sutter? No. Unless somehow we are not in a playoff race and a team wants to get him because he's on his last year of his contract. And a team wants to get him for the playoffs. You never know. We might be able to recoup something for him there. Michael, hey Clay, what's up? I'm great, Michael. Hope you're well. Peter Hughes, Tampa was actually able to re-sign 5 of their players after Kucherov got injured. I'm curious what they've done with Kucherov hadn't gotten injured. Tampa has about 60 million now. Yeah, Kucherov at 10. Nielsen and and Gabrick will go on there. And yeah, they're able to sign Cirelli, Chernik. They'll probably be able to, Sergachev, they'll probably get to do something with Tyler Johnson now. It's pretty crazy how they made that work. Eduardo, do you have a Team Canada jersey? Yes, just the 2016 Olympic one, the red one. Peter Hughes, and Tampa next season is 3.5 million over with only 17 players on a contract. Yeah, so every team has until January 13th to get under the cap. Edmund, I think Marshall will get an injury this season. He's not proven he's very durable. Yeah, he got injured twice last year. Once, as we know, in March, then once, as we know, in the tail end of the playoffs. You don't wish injury on him, but I would not disagree, Edmund, that he may get hurt. Nick, Clay, what are your thoughts on Team Canada? Do you think they'll still win gold without Kirby Dach? I do, Nick. I think they can still win gold. There's so much offensive firepower, a lot of good push on the defense with Drysdale and Bowen Byram. They didn't look great against Slovakia, but I get the sense that they're playing down to the competition as well. Like Germany, we saw what they did to them. Slovakia is challenging, but it wasn't like we were in trouble. So we'll see as the games ramp up, especially when they have Finland to wind up the round robin. But yeah, I still think they can win gold for sure. Edmund, when will we see the kids again on the stream? Missing the boys talk. Edmund, thank you for asking. It's funny, they're both really good, polished speakers. They're a lot of fun. Jacob, I think, is the middle guy. I think we're going to get him on the stream a little more because he's starting to ask more about hockey, which is great. We had some pretty conversations. He's even shown interest in joining my hockey pool that I do every year with my church guys. But you'll see them next week. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Or at least you'll hear them. And then we'll see about getting them on a little more regularly. Especially if I do more than once a week. I might have one of them pop in for one of my post-game live streams or something like that. As you know, my plan is to do post-game live streams whenever I can. As long as I'm not at the game, which I don't think I will be, or as long as I'm not at church or bowling. If I'm home, I'll be doing them. Aaron, go Vancouver. Yes, go Vancouver. Go Aaron. John, what up? What up, John? Das Money. Can't stay in chat. Just want to say, I hope you and your family had a nice holiday. No problem. Das Money. Das okay. So I hope you are doing well as well. Dexter Hughes, at Peter Hughes, I made your name my gamer tag on Xbox. What a wonderful tribute to Peter Hughes. Also likes that. Peter Hughes, Dexter says, sounds great. Sorry, Peter Hughes says, Dexter, sounds great. John, Ottawa Senators made some trades. Yes, I talked about that right off the top, John. They are definitely one of the big movers so far. Dexter, what are some of your resolutions for 2021? Great question, Dexter. I want to continue to eat healthier. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm getting better. Want to exercise more for sure. Everyone says that, but I do that. And I want to get more rest. And I say that every year as well, but I think now's on COVID time, pandemic time, now's a really good time to actually try and put some oomph into those resolutions for sure. Fangirl, I'm excited. You said I'm exited, but I think you mean I'm excited that 2020 is almost over. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? John says teams are talk to Justin Abdelkader. Yes, I'm sure there's some interest in him. I can't remember if he's RFA, UFA. He seems young though. Edmund, I feel more comfortable with D if one of Hamonic or Vatanen were to sign, but realistically it would be by PTO. Yeah, you put a Hamonic or Vatanen on the right side, and now then Jordy Ben can play left or right if he beats out Ulevi, but now you feel a little more comfortable if one of our top four goes down with injury for sure. Dexter, okay, it was a message that was retracted. Dexter was responding to for Jaden. Arjun, who's going to win the Stanley Cup this year? Let's hope it's not Boston or Vegas. Yeah, this is such a crazy year. Tampa's still going to be good. Boston's good. Vegas is good. Dallas obviously showed they were good. I think it could be a lot of different teams. Philly made huge strides last year too. Fangirl, I honestly Trampkin is done as a Canuck. I think you honestly think Trampkin is done as a Canuck, and you guys know my thoughts on Trampkin. I don't need him here. And it's funny, when I was golfing on Wednesday with three buddies, so Mike is my season ticket partner, a really good friend of mine, his younger brother Jason, who I'm really good friends with as well, and John, who I've known for many years. So we talked Canucks basically for the full 4 hours, and we were talking about Trampkin, and I know John thinks Trampkin could help us, and me and Mike were like, no. And Mike knows how I feel about Trampkin. Edmund, I remember 98 Degrees, then Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. There you go, Edmund. Nahal, hi Clay, hope you had a great Christmas. I did, Nahal, I hope you did as well. Peter Hughes, I was a fan of 98 Degrees when I was a kid. Well, there you go. I recently listened to some of their old songs during this pandemic. Nice. Yeah, and I'm glad. So I'm sure that this gift song then you recognize. So I hope you did. Cody, hey Clay, I know that it's being reported as verbal by guys like Drager, LeBron, and Garrett as far as playing in the provinces. My question is, how confident are you with them doing it? I'm pretty confident. I think the fact that the NHL, and maybe they want to rush the news out before Christmas, but on Christmas Eve basically saying that we got to go, we're ready to go. I'm pretty confident that it's going to roll. Eduardo, I got the new one. Can we see your Team Canada jersey? Yeah, maybe I'll run up and get it at the very end. I don't want to break the flow right now, but yes, I'll go get the Team Canada jersey at the end of the stream. Someone remind me. So as soon as I start to do, as soon as I close the chat and start to talk about, what's going to happen this week and next week, someone remind me, go get your jersey, and I'll go do that. Cody, Do you think they will pull it off pretty safely? I do, Cody, but I think they have to be flexible and ready to pivot. I know we kind of use those terms all the time, flexible, pivot, but I think we have to be ready to do that. Not we, I'm not part of the NHL, you know what I mean. Peter Hughes, I watched Steve Dangle's recent trade tree video of the Oilers trading Wayne Gretzky to the Kings, which was 50 minutes long and a very large trade tree. Yeah, there's the fact that Gretzky himself played on 4 teams, but all the players involved in the initial trade, and I can imagine, I haven't watched it, but I can imagine that it was very entertaining and very intricate. Peter Hughes, the tree is still evolving today with the tree leading to 2 Kings 2017 draft picks. If either of those 2 Kings draft picks gets traded, the trade tree will still go on. Yes, that's true. If any of those guys, the prospects, either the picks, the players get traded themselves before they start, or likely once they get started, the trade tree will continue to go. That's pretty amazing. So I guess, Peter Hughes, you're saying out of everything of the tree, then those are the only 2 active players, right? Those 2 draft picks for the Kings. So we'll see. It could also end now too. Nahal, do you think the Canucks will win their first game against Edmonton? So tough to say. I'll go with yes, but that's really hard to say. Edmund, you think the Lightning are much worse with the trades they made? Frustrated me when a team like Tampa with cap issues are able to make trades and we can't get rid of Louis' contract. No, I don't think they're much worse at all, actually. Well, Paquette was a bit of a poop disturber. Coburn's good, but yeah, I can't remember who they signed, if they signed anyone new. Probably not, because I don't think they have money, but I don't think they're much worse. Fangirl, do you think players' families will be allowed in the rink? Good question. I don't know. I doubt it, because they want to probably limit their exposure as much as they can. Dominic, okay, you have a great night. I have to go, but I'll be back. No problem, Dominic. Just coming. Anyone else? I know Dexter said this. Anytime I see Dominic Sodin, I think of a mix of Daniel and Henrik, Danrik Sedin, but I think Dexter pointed that out a long time ago. Nux, Clay, would you like to do a live stream during a Canucks game when the regular season starts? Nux, great question. I actually think, my answer is no. Because when I watch the game, and I mean this in all sincerity, I don't want to be bothered. How do I say this properly? I'll just say it. You guys know I'm honest. I would feel like it's a burden for me to try and be entertaining and be informative here while I'm trying to enjoy the game, say with my wife or with my family, my kids or whatever. And I can't speak for you, so I shouldn't be naive enough to say, and I don't want to take away from your experience from watching the game, because obviously it's your choice if you would watch me doing a live stream when I'm watching the game. I think I could do a really good job, quite frankly, because I know a lot about the players, I know a lot about the league, I know strategy, I played hockey, and I could share some, kind of like tonight, I can do some interjections, share some insights, some tidbits, whatever. But I won't be naive to say I don't want to wreck your experience, because that's not fair for me to say. But I'll say very honestly, it would wreck my experience. I wouldn't wreck it. It would change my experience. I know other guys do live streams like Lego Rocks, like Hot Take Hockey, like Grav, and that's good. And they do a pretty good job, actually. Lego has some, Gio has some play-by-play experience, and you can tell he's so smooth. And Grav is very entertaining, and Hot Take Hockey, John there. But that's kind of not my thing. I'd rather watch the game myself with my family and kind of not be kind of tied to the screen. Then I will do my intermission reflections, and then what I would focus on is doing a proper post-game live stream. Now, I know streaming during a game is I don't want to say an easy way, but it's a good way to get subscribers and donations and viewers, and I get that, and that's awesome. You know me, I'm not jealous at all. I'm not envious. I want channels to grow and be big, and that's wonderful, but it's simply not my thing. Now, if you want, you can try and convince me otherwise in the chat, and I'm not fishing for affirmation or for compliments, but if you think that you'd watch it if I did it, put that down there, and if you think that I would do a good job, put that down there. But if you kind of say, no, Clay, I understand your reasoning, I'd love to hear that as well. I'm just, I'm kind of fascinated by what you guys would think. And for instance, if someone like Gio or Grav or someone was streaming at, say, a Canucks game, maybe a lot of people would go to watch their stream anyway. So a couple of things to think about. But I'd love to know your feedback in the comment section. But thanks for asking, Nux. That was a long answer to a short question, but I appreciate you asking. I should get a drink of water now. Edmund, just watching the NBA games feels so odd with no fans in the stands. The bubble they had in the summer felt more real, even in fans virtually present. I actually like the bubble personally. Yeah, they're now they're in their home arenas with, no virtual things behind them. I know that players hated it. Yes, I'm sure they hated it. Dexter, did you watch the Czech Republic versus Russia game? Such an awesome game. No, I didn't. That's the one that the Czechs won 2-0, right? I heard it was a good game. Nahal, who is your least favorite player in the entire NHL? Wow, least favorite player. You know, Milan Lucic annoys me. Maybe it's because he's from here, and then he played in Boston, and then now the two Alberta teams. I don't hate him, but if I had to pick someone who I don't like, I'll go with Lucic. Edmund, I think Canucks fans on Twitter are overreacting on Podkolzin. He's doing fine. Yes, I agree with you. I made a vlog as much. Let's not worry about one player's performance 3 games in the World Championship, Junior Championship. Pettius, I think after Tampa having 16 million on LTIR, there will be new rules in place where there will be a limit on the LTIR amount and number of players. We'll see. They didn't do anything that was illegal. Maybe, I wouldn't say shady, maybe creative. Maybe more teams wish they did that. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see, Petter Hughes, if anything comes from it. But they're playing within the rules right now. Petter Hughes, thanks for the tribute talking about the tag on Xbox. Fangirl, do you think the Canucks have a chance to win the Cup this season? I do. Not a good chance, but everyone's team's got a chance. Raven says, hi. Hello, Ravens. Nahal, what's your favorite thing in 2020? Wow. What was my favorite thing in 2020? I guess I had a couple. I think of my daughter Kayla, who in June graduated from grade 7, although in Catholic circles we don't call it a graduation, we call it a confirmation. She received one of the sacraments. So I think that was a big thing for me, for Kayla to get confirmed, finish her elementary school career, and then start high school in September. Also, Kayla won the provincial bowling championship back in March for her age. So I think those are a couple of kind of cool things. Gail and I celebrated 20 years of marriage. Couldn't travel, as we know. But those are a few things that I thought were my favorite things. Thank you for asking, Nahal. Rome, if you had to give up sushi, I don't even want to think of the next part. Or cheering for the Canucks, which would you pick? Rome, that is an excellent question. Man, if you did that on an Ask Me Anything, I could have gone for about 5 minutes. My first reaction is I would give up sushi, because as much as I love it, there's other Japanese food I can eat. There's other food I can eat. And I don't want to get too technical, but if you're talking about sushi itself, do you consider sashimi? Do you consider other types of fish sushi? Or are you talking about the true nigiri and the true maki sushi, what we traditionally think of sushi? So I couldn't picture myself not being a Canucks fan. So I'm going to say sushi, believe it or not. Not believe it or not, I think that's what you think I'd say. Jet, I live near Joyce SkyTrain Station. Already subscribed. Thank you, Jet. I appreciate that. Can't wait for the games to start. I also play NHL 21 and fell in love with the game of hockey. So last season is my first season as a Canucks fan. Jet, that is awesome. If I may, are you from here, like born and raised in Canada? Or are you from another country? And what other sports do you like? Jet, that's awesome. And thank you for the sub. Nahal, who is your least favorite player? I think I just answered that. Maybe because I took so long to get to it in the first place. On the Canucks, sorry. Who is your least favorite player on the Canucks? No, I'm not going to answer this. Just not because the question's fine. It's no offense to the question, but I don't have a least favorite player. I would love Eriksson to do more. I love Sutter to do more, especially for the money we're paying for him. But I wouldn't categorize them as my least favorite. I would categorize them as I wish these guys would do more. Edmund, which Canuck do you think will be unsung hero? My prediction is Nate Schmidt. I think Nate Schmidt could be a good one given his personality and how much we're going to lean on him. I think that's an excellent pick, is Nate Schmidt. I'd agree with you. Or maybe even Demko. Maybe Demko or Holtby, one of the goaltenders, if they do really well. Because, Hughes, Pettersson, Horvat, Besser, they're always going to get Miller now, always going to get more of the attention. Nick, sucks that Kucherov won't play this year? Yeah, just because he's such a good player. Edmund, did you do any Boxing Day shopping? Yeah, but only from home. I did not want to go. I don't even go out when there's no pandemic. There's no way I was going to go out with the pandemic. I couldn't believe some of the lines I saw at some places. But I just bought 2 things. I bought a new ring light because my one I've been using for a year is busted. I'm using Sean's right now. You can kind of see it right there. So you can kind of see, here's my busted one. It doesn't work now. Watch, I'm going to plug it in now. It's going to work. This is going to be funny. Let me just try this. I know this makes for a really good live streaming, guys. Watch this. Oh my. You guys just saw something pretty funny. This wasn't working for a whole month. No, about a week. So I bought a new one and now it works. I didn't plan that. Man, I think this could be one of the funniest, low-key funniest live stream moments of the year. So great. So now you see that one there. And so I can give Sean's back. Okay. Maybe I keep one at work and one at home, or I don't know. But that was pretty darn embarrassing. Okay, well I hope you guys enjoyed that. So to answer your question, I bought a ring light. I'm just so giggly now, and I bought a couple shirts from Banana Republic, and I didn't get this on Boxing Day, but you guys have noticed that I haven't shrunk my chair either. Like I got a different chair in here. I brought one back from the office with my office's permission. So now it's a nice black chair there that you can see that doesn't fade. Okay, that was probably some of the worst 2 minutes of my live stream, but I think that was fun. All right, let's go. John says Abdicator was bought out by the Red Wings. Okay, I didn't even know that. I missed that somehow. Fangirl, does Louis Eriksson play out the last year of his contract with the Canucks, or would Jim trade him? I think Benning has tried to trade him and he can't. So I don't know. I think we might be stuck with him for a couple of years, whether he's here or the taxi squad. Also, how do you feel about at least one Canadian team getting the Final Four? Who do you think it will be? I think it's fine. You know, it's funny. You're guaranteed a Canadian team in the Final Four because of the playoff format. And it could be anyone, but I'm going to say it's going to be one of the three of Toronto, Calgary, or Vancouver. I just think those three are the three better teams. John, I got NHL 21 for Christmas. Sweet. Edmund, I also think with NFL and MLB starting a season without a bubble, the NHL can take notes and not make the same mistakes those players made when they got COVID. Yes, they definitely can follow the lead of the other leagues for sure. I'm still laughing at the ring light. That was pretty funny. I just knew that was going to happen. I don't even know why. It's almost like I knew that was going to happen, and I thought that would be entertaining for you guys. That was bad. Okay. Edmund, fair to say playoff time they would do a bubble. I think bubble was safer, I thought. Yes, but the players hated it. I truly think if the season goes well and as more people get the vaccine, I could see the playoffs being regular traveling to the cities, but we'll see. John says, go get your jersey. Okay, John, thank you for the reminder. I said I would do that at the end of the stream. Now, Kucherov, why won't he play? I think he's got a wrist injury, isn't it? Is it wrist or arm? I know it's something upper body. Petterius, yeah, those two Kings 2017 draft pick prospects are currently under contract for the Kings according to Steve Dangle. Gotcha. Thank you, Petterius. John, will NHL players opting out of the season? Yeah, I think they have to do so this week, right? Isn't this week the deadline? Dexter, Dominic Sedin also looks like Anton Rodin. There's a bit of that too. So there's Henrik, Daniel, and Anton Rodin. I like that. Eduardo, have you met the hockey guy? No, I have not met him. No, I agree, Clay. I would find it so hard to stream and watch the game at the same time. Well, I appreciate that. Hip surgery. So thank you, Arcel. Why did I say I should do more research? You guys see, I only know stuff about the Canucks, obviously. I can't say that guy's name. I have the wrong injury, the wrong body part for Kucherov's injury. But Nahal, thanks for that. Yeah, and I appreciate your input and everyone's input. Fangirl, what was your reaction when the Canadiens got drafted, if you can remember, because I was too young to remember? I remember that was in 1999, and I remember it was crazy that how Brian Burke orchestrated it so he could pick both of them at the same time. And we've heard the legendary stories of all the things that he had to do to maneuver to get those two picks together. Rob says, try it for a game. Okay, good. I appreciate that input. Dexter says, I wouldn't watch it. I like listening to the commentary and the stream would override the commentary. That's a very fair comment. I'm not better than Shorthouse, Garrett, or whoever else is on TV. Costas, do you think Schmidt will play with Hughes or Edler when the season starts? I think he will get some time with Hughes, especially if they're down by one or they want to give the other teams a different look. But then that leaves Edler with Myers, and that's not the most mobile pairing. So I truly think it'll be Hughes, Myers, and Edler Schmidt to start off. Nick says, Kucherov had hip surgery. Thank you. Petti's least favorite player, Brad Marchand. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him, of course. John, if Russell Wilson get hurt, Seahawks are done. Yeah, I think you say that about a lot of teams and a lot of their quarterbacks for sure. Nahal says, thanks to Nick. Edmund, also being dominant in the World Junior doesn't necessarily translate to a great NHL career. Cody Hodgson was leading point getter during Pat Quinn's World Juniors. Rest in peace, Pat Quinn. And looked how Cody turned out. Yeah, back issues, but that's a great point. Is World Juniors, we use it as one barometer, but not the only barometer. Eduardo, Pettersson didn't have a good World Juniors, and look at him now. Podcosin will be fine. Glad you agree. Absolutely. And I did a whole vlog about it a couple days ago. Cody, what player styles do Podcosin and Hoglander remind you of as far as an NHL player comparisons? I've heard Podkolzin compared to Buchnevich. I think he still plays for the Rangers, obviously a Russian forward, where he's not the most offensively gifted ever, but works like a dog. And for anyone who watched my interview with Chris Faber, he said that Podkolzin is so good in the first 2/3 of his ice, his own zone and the middle zone, whereas Hoglander is really good in the front end of the ice offensively. And then, so for Hoglander, I haven't admittedly watched enough of Hoglander, so pick anyone that's got a lot of skill, but maybe needs to work on his defense a little bit. And Hoglander, he's not massive, but he plays a heavier game than what you might expect from a guy his size. Good question, Cody. I should look that up for next one, so I'm better prepared. Dexter, sushi, please say sushi. I can't even say it. Yes, I would give up sushi before I give up watching the Canucks, but that's a tough one. Arso, you would do a great job, but I think it would take away from your experience of watching the game because you'll be focusing on a lot of things. Arso, I appreciate that the compliment, and that's kind of the way I'm leaning. That's a loyal fan right there about the Canucks, not the sushi. Fangirl Gaming, does Roberto Wong get inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame? Yeah, I could see that happening. Never won a Stanley Cup though, but that doesn't mean. But Team Canada gold and generally some good numbers across the board. I think he's got a shot. John, I don't like Tom Wilson. He hurts players. Yeah, a lot of people don't like him. Dexter, okay, now you guys are laughing at what we're like. Dexter, so Arsenal's laughing. Dexter, at least you bought it on Boxing Day. Arsenal, that's how things always work out. Costas, who do you think is going to start an opening night? My instinct says Demko. I want Demko, but I think Travis Green will go with experience and Holtby. Opening nights, I think they'll go with Demko. I think if they want to make a statement that he is the goalie of the future and the present, you go with Demko, but you could go with Holtby the very next game. Demko too, I'm not worried about opening night jitters or anything like that. He showed they can play on a big stage in those 3 playoff matchups. Now, would you trade Pettersson and a first for Lafreniere? Pettersson and a first? I think it depends where that first is. Because if it's like a top 5 pick, my answer is automatically no. If it's a lower, like 25 to 30, I think about it. It still wouldn't be an automatic though. Yes, Lafreniere is going to be good, but Pettersson, you could argue, is like first pick overall potential. You could argue that. Maybe not the strongest first pick ever, but he's right up there. And you think about who got drafted number 1 and number 2. No one's going to take Heischer or Nolan Patrick over Pettersson right now. And maybe Makar Heiskanen, you could have an argument because they're very good players as well. So no, I don't think I'd do that. But maybe I'm sleeping on Lafreniere. I don't know. But so Arsenal says no way. Edmund says LL. Brett, hi Clay. Do you enjoy your content here and there? Well, thank you, Brett. I hope you're saying that when you come here and there, you enjoy it, as opposed to you come all the time and you only enjoy my content here and there, if you know the difference. I'm a Calgary fan. Okay, there you go. I'm a Calgary fan, and it seems like we like your former players. Is Jacob Markstrom the departure you'll miss the most, or is it Chris Tanev or Josh Levo? Well, it's not Josh Levo because unfortunately he only played half the season. Tanev is good, but he's on the downward spiral, a downward side of his career. And I'm not trashing these guys. I'm being very honest. Jacob Markstrom, yes, we're going to miss him because he was our MVP the last 2 seasons. You guys are going to love him in Calgary, but he's getting older. So I think the Canucks made the wise decision in not paying him the $36 million over the next 6 years. But yes, you do like our former players. And yes, of those 3, Markstrom will be the biggest loss. Dexter, I didn't see that Albuquerque got bought out either. Let's see if it's actually true. Okay, so I think you might be looking it up. Petter Hughes, apparently Tarasenko is disappointed that O'Reilly was made Blues captain over him because Tarasenko played for the Blues for 8 seasons, whereas O'Reilly only played for 2 with the Blues. I did not know that. If there was some inner strife there, I could see Tarasenko's argument, but O'Reilly might be more captain material. Now, would you do Pettersson and Horvat for McDavid and a second? Pettersson and Horvat for McDavid and a second. No, I can see why you didn't say McDavid and a first, because obviously the answer would be yes. McDavid and a second, you're getting the best player in the world, but then a guy who might not work out versus, say, a top 20 player in the world and a solid second-line center. Oh, gosh, but how do you say no to the best player in the world? I'm split on that one. If it was a first, I'd say yes, I'd trade it. If it's a second, it makes me go 50-50. Costas, thoughts on Hoglander making the opening lineup? My personal opinion is we'll see him on opening night. That's great, Costas. I doubt it. I just think there's too many guys that he's got to leapfrog, but I do see him on the taxi squad. John, Brian Burke was bad GM for the Leafs. Yeah, didn't do the best. Dexter, I think I saw Jordan Schrader's leading the USA World Junior score, and look how he turned out. Good example. Edmund, Burke didn't make the best moves to the roster, and also John Ferguson Jr. really ruined the team when he got there. Very good, Edmund. Fangirl, I just hope the next time Canucks go to Cup Finals, there will be no riot in Vancouver because the last riot seemed bad based on videos. Yeah, I was right in the middle of it. I was at the game, you guys know that, and I had to avoid it getting back to my car, which was parked in my office. It was brutal. John, Ron Wilson was head coach for the Leafs in 2012. Thank you, John. Also, Podkolzin reminds me of Radulov and Hoglander of Forsberg. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Philip Forsberg was really good. I don't know if Hoglander is going to be that good. Podkolzin of Radulov, okay. Is Radulov good on defense? I guess he's pretty good, right? Brett, Luongo is a Hall of Famer. I agree with you. Edmund, Podkolzin will be fine. They named him captain for a reason. And Igor Larionov is a smart man. There you go. Dexter says no chance, probably about that trade. John says John Ferguson was bad GM for the Leafs. Yeah, that's what Edmund said as well. Fangirl, what was the biggest reason Willie got fired? I just think he wasn't a creative enough coach. I think he got too set in his lines. His strategy, even when it wasn't working, he wasn't overplaying. He wasn't playing the Sedins, his best players, enough. And I think the players really liked him. I think he was very popular among the players. But I'm not sure how I don't know about you. He just seemed kind of nervous, always rocking back and forth on the bench. And I don't know if he was inspiring, if he could really motivate the guys. He was a nice enough guy, but I'm not sure if he could motivate the guys. Also, he's a first pick in a lot of drafts. I'm not sure also what we're talking about anymore. Probably Pedersen. Dexter, I don't even know if I would trade Pedersen for Laugh straight up. Same, I wouldn't. Yep. Justin, hi Clay. What are your predictions for the Canucks in the North Division? Top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs, right? Yes. So Canucks have a good chance with only 7 teams in the North. Yes. I've always said that they're going to finish 3rd behind Toronto and Calgary. So that would make them a playoff team. Edmund, is Podkolzin a power forward? Edmund, I think the days of a true power forward are gone. There's hardly any of them. And his good work is in the neutral and defensive zone. So I wouldn't classify him as a true power forward. Balt says, hello guys, I'm Sweden. Maybe you're in Sweden as opposed to the entire Sweden. Balt, good to have you here. Eduardo, Henrik Sedin and Dan Sedin are basically the first 2 overall picks in the 1999 draft. They are indeed. Also, I'm not trading PD. I don't know I feel so high about him. That's totally fair. Peter Hughes, I don't think Stanley Cup wins should be a factor in getting the Hockey Hall of Fame, since a player winning Stanley Cup also has to depend on a good team. Yep, and good management, absolutely. It's not individual. Also says he has too much potential. Talking about Pedersen. Nahal, bye Clay and everyone. I gotta go. No problem. Thanks for streaming. Thanks, Nahal. Happy New Year. John, remember Mike Costa for the Toronto Maple Leafs? I don't actually. Costas. Miller, Pedersen, Besser, Pearson, Hornet, Vertanen, Hoglander, Gaudette, McEwen, Mott, Beagle, Harlock. Hughes, Myers, Edler, Schmidt, Ulevi, Chatfield, Demko, Holtby. Okay, I think Ben beats out Chatfield on your 3rd pairing, and I think that Roussel plays and Hoglander doesn't. That's my guess, but not bad, Costas. Peter Hughes, Del Zotto won the Stanley Cup with the Blues and only played 7 regular season games with them and no playoff games. Easy cup win for him. Yes, he was smart. He was smart for sure. Eduardo, how long do you stream for? I always wind up between 11 and 11:15, so I go between 60 and 75 minutes. And if you're asking because you want to see my jersey, sorry, if you have to go, just go. I'll bring it down and you can watch it on the replay for sure, but I'll bring it down at 11 o'clock, if not sooner. Edmund, Willie Desjardins wasn't ready for NHL coaching gig. Yeah, he seemed overmatched at times for sure. Edmund, he probably should have been assistant first before he got the head coach gig. Also, he had the Sedins when they were declining. They were also going to rebuild. Yeah, he didn't have the best roster, that's for sure. John, I have a Dion Phaneuf jersey. Awesome. Edmund, he was kind of brought in to give the core one more chance, but they clearly needed a change. He wasn't the man for it. Yeah, I think that's fair. Fango, what was the Canucks' biggest downfall in the 2013-2014 season? Okay, that was the year. Oh, that was Tortorella's year. They started off well. They started off really well, and then Tortorella tried to rush the Calgary dressing room, got suspended, and then that started the demise of that team. I also think that team would have demised anyways because he was using the Sedins on the penalty kill, and just kind of stubborn Tortorella was, but they started off that season quite well. Dexter, did you see that video of Pedersen on? Whoops, Did you see that video of Pedersen on Twitch that was posted on Twitter? It was hilarious. Yeah, is that the one where he said, suck it, B word, sorry? Yes, I saw it. It was pretty funny, actually. That's kind of one of the dangers of streaming stuff, but I guess maybe that was, maybe that's what people that's what people like about him as well. I thought it was pretty funny. Also, Radulov is good defensively if he's into the game, but bad if he's not. That's fair. And that goes for a lot of guys. Justin, thoughts on Perry to Montreal? They seem deep on offense now with Toffoli, Anderson, and Perry. Yeah, I think it's a good. I said that in my vlog today. He's not at the top of my list, but if we got him for 750, I wouldn't complain. Especially he bumps a guy like Sutter out of the lineup or Beagle. So yeah, I think 750 is fine for a guy like Perry. And yeah, what Montreal's got a bunch of decent forwards. Not a lot of game breakers yet. So that's why I'm not as high on them as some other people are. But they've definitely had a very active offseason for sure. John, my favorite player is Drew Doughty. Yeah, he's a good player. Edmund Torts is still a great coach, but not for the Canucks. I like him, actually. Him and Gillis not seeing eye to eye was a major issue. John, do you think Jeff Carter will get traded? I don't even know where Jeff Carter's playing anymore. Dexter, yeah, that was it. Brett, would you want Travis Hamonic on the Canucks? Heard possibly that he's going to Vancouver, maybe come back to Calgary. Would be a great community player if he goes to Vancouver. Yeah, Hamonic, born in Manitoba, wants to stay in Western Canada, so either Calgary or Vancouver. Would I want him? Yeah, I think his plays kind of diminished a little bit, but I think for cheap, like if we can get him for 1 or 1.5, I think it'd be great as a third pairing guy for sure. Fangirl. Oh, by the way, Brett, since you're here and since you're a Calgary Flames fan, what are Calgary fans saying about Markstrom and Tanev and Levo? Are they excited to have these 3 former Canucks, or are they kind of thinking that they might not move the needle? I would love to know your opinion, Brett. Fangirl, I had a bad feeling about Tortorella after he got hired, and he only lasted a season. Indeed. Peter Hughes. Tortorella also started Lack over Luongo in the Heritage Classic, which led to the Luongo trade. Yeah, I was at that Heritage Classic. Kind of boring game. Peter Hughes. I enjoyed some of Tortorella's interviews. Yes, they're always fun for a laugh. Peter Hughes also says Jeff Carter is still a king. Okay, good. Arso, which team are you most excited to play in the Canadian division? I think I answered this earlier about which matchup is I'm most excited about. All 3 of Calgary, Toronto, and Montreal. But Calgary and Toronto, if I had to pick 2 of them, I think those would be good. Eduardo, Lack was trash. Luongo, we should have kept. Yeah, Lack was popular among social media, and he almost brought up, had a cult following behind him. Dexter, I can't wait to watch Tim Stützle this year in the Canadian division. He lit it up today against Slovakia. Yeah, he's a good player. John, Jeff Carter playing for the Kings. Thank you. Also, did Germany win? Yeah, they did win in OT with a minute left. They had a power play. John says Bobby Ryan playing for the Red Wings. Okay, now's a chance. It's 10:49. I think now's a chance where I've caught up. I will go get my jersey, and then we will wrap up the stream. So talk amongst, I'll leave a question, and then I'll answer these questions when I come down as I go get the jersey. Okay, here's the question. Next week, would you rather see an NHL stream with me, Sean, and Jake doing kind of a little round robin, or would you rather see a house tour? Because I promised both of those over the Christmas break, and we're only going to have time to do one. So type in stream or tour. I'll be back in a minute. All right, so here's the jersey. I don't think there's anything on the back, but this was from the 2016 team, I think. Yes, I think this was from the 2016 team. Oh yeah, thank you. Thanks for everyone saying it looks good. Okay, I gotta drink water because I was running so crazy. So let's catch up on a couple of these messages. Ali Mott. Hello, Ali. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Everyone knows that Ali, if you recognize that last name, she is indeed related to our wonderful Tyler Mott. So nice to see you, Ali. Aren't you like 2 or 3 hours ahead of us where you're living, but thank you for being here. So Dexter says stream, Fangirl says stream, Brett Hope says we're excited about Jacob Markstrom as being a stud goaltender since Kiprusoff. Yeah, for sure. Term, some fans worry, but overall excited. Tanev signing is cautious more on term and injury. And I like Chris Tanev a lot. I don't want him to not be good for you guys. I just don't want him to play good against the Canucks. But I hope people don't rag on him too about being injury prone. But we'll see. He's a great guy and a great leader for sure, and very likable. And really ugly, just with his no teeth and blah blah blah. Rob says house tour. Nick says stream. John says stream. 4-1. Thank you, Dexter, for keeping track. Eduardo, in my opinion, Wong was the best goalie ever. Number 3 in most wins, and he did that not on the good team. The only good teams were in Vancouver. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's the best goalie ever because in the Canucks, yeah, maybe for sure, him and Kirk McLean. But I'm not sure, Eduardo, you mean best goalie ever. Because there's guys like Dominic Hasek and Martin Brodeur and Patrick Waugh. Arsenal 5-1 for stream. Sick jersey. Well, thank you, Edmund. And thank you, Arsenal and Rob. Brett says Josh Levo is just a depth signing as Calgary Flames fans talking about signing for Vancouver Canucks. Yes. John says nice jersey. Dexter says he had one. What do you mean you had one of those too, Dexter? Have you got rid of it already? Only 4 years ago, man. Rome says my favorite Team Canada jersey is still Nagano, but I can't bring myself to buy it because of bad memories. And Ali Mont says, yes, it's 1:51 a.m. So you guys are indeed 3 hours ahead. So you must be, yeah, obviously you're back east. Ali, I really appreciate you popping in here. Okay, isn't that a 2014 jersey? When was the Winter Olympics? Oh, yes. I don't know why I keep saying 16. I'm thinking summer. You're right. 2010 was winter. 2000. Thank you. I can do math. Yes, that is a 2014 jersey. Thank you. I don't know why I keep saying 2016. Arso says, are you doing a fantasy hockey league on YouTube? Well, Arso, you and Dexter can set it up, but I don't know if we're going to do it on YouTube per se. But if you want, I can help get the word out. I think that's the best way. And then you'd have to figure out a way to do it. I could put a link in the description maybe next week, and then people could sign up. So I'll let you and Dexter figure that out together, and I can help promote it as how you need to. Yeah, isn't that not okay? So now everyone's saying it's 2014. Yeah. Dexter says it's too small now. You must be bulking up. Roberto Longo has a higher save percentage than Ron Martin Brodeur. He played on worse teams. Yeah, that's fine. But stats, Eduardo, respectfully, can only go so far. I think you got to look at overall career success as well. And I don't think anyone would say that Luongo was a better goalie than Waugh, Brodeur, or Hasek. Edmund, I like the 2016 Olympics. I missed something. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Sochi, Russia, thank you. All Team Canada jerseys look better with a gold medal in front of it. Yes. John Chris Kreider, best player ever. Don't agree. Dexter, also I'll add you on Discord after the stream. No, I mean with the YouTube crown on Yahoo. YouTube crowd. Okay, so let's wrap this up tonight with a couple things. Arso and Dexter are going to put together a hockey draft, a fantasy hockey league. On Yahoo, but with people, anyone who wants to join from YouTube. So Arso and Dexter, if you set that up, Dexter knows how to contact me, both on Twitter and on Instagram. And then I can promote it. I don't even have to wait till next week's stream. I can actually promote it in a couple of my vlogs, depending on how big you want to make it. So Arso, Dexter, you guys talk, and then Dexter, maybe give me a thumbs up if you're cool with or say hi or say something where if you're cool with you giving me the details and gave me the link, and then I'll somehow promote it somehow. John says he's 24 years old. Okay, I'll write that down on my list. No problem. Okay, and Dexter says he'll organize it. Okay, so again, Dexter and Arso are gonna organize a fantasy hockey league, and we'll kind of see what interest there is maybe by next week, and we'll go from there. Okay, a couple things real quickly. I'll tell you a very quick story. My cousin Dusty, the one I talk about, who was most recently coaching in the KHL, no longer. He was a goalie coach there. Before that, 4 years with the Kings. Before that, 2 years with the Winnipeg Jets. He was actually Japan's goalie in the 1998 Nagano Olympics. So he was born and raised in Vancouver, but he had dual citizenship. So he got to play for Japan. So it was pretty cool that my cousin Dusty played in the 1998 Olympics. And what was really cool is I think he played Kazakhstan and like made like 40 or 50 saves, and Gretzky came down Gretzky came down to congratulate him after the game, which was really, really cool. Dexter says, Clay and I DM from time to time, whether it's fight videos or Marshall's Instagram comments. Yeah, Dexter is my eyes and ears on the ground, so to speak. Okay, a couple other things. So don't forget, Dexter and Arsenal are going to set up a fantasy league. If you're interested, maybe just put a comment down below right now before I hang up. We're not on a phone. Before I stop the stream, and then they can at least make a quick note of who might be interested. And then I'll get the. You know, Dexter, I think the best is if you're also willing to give an email address out that I can help get out to people, and then you and Arsenal can kind of see how many people you're going to have. If it's like 4 people, 8 people, 6 people, 12 people. Yes, I agree. You should do it before the 13th. So maybe next week we'll get. I can mention that as well. We'll make it work somehow. Brett says, thanks for the stream, Clay. Watch more of your videos here and there than live streams in the past. First live stream I come to. Well, Brett, I appreciate you being here. Keep watching those videos. I got good variety on this channel. And I do these live streams every Monday night. I'm not sure if you're actually in Alberta, but you're an hour ahead. But yeah, always happy to have you here. And Eduardo says, where did you get that jersey? Actually, my friend got it for me. He had 2. He was going to buy 2. So I bought 1 off of him. Okay, before everyone goes, a couple things. This week, I hope to interview Steve Dangle. We've been DMing each other, trying to find a time that works for both of us. So he did say we'll nail it between Christmas and New Year. So that's my goal, is to interview Steve Dangle. And so look for that on my channel soon. I will figure out what the heck's wrong with my ring light, or maybe what's not wrong with it. And a week from tonight, the stream that no one has asked for, it will be me versus Sean versus Jacob, NHL 21. We will start with a game of ones. The winner, likely going to be Sean, gets a bye to the final. Second and third place, likely me and Jacob, will play a game of threes, with the winner to play against Sean in a full regular game, 6-on-6 or whatever you call it. Yeah, just a regular game. Last year was a lot of fun. Sean won the first game in the ones. Then I disposed of Jake in 2 minutes in the threes, which was kind of a fluke. We actually played 50-50. And then if you guys remember, it was an epic showdown. Sean basically outshot me 45-15. And my goalie held me in. I think I was Pittsburgh with Matt Murray, right? Was that who I was? And yeah, there it is. Murray carried Clay. And I took Sean all the way to a shootout. And it was crazy. So I was just one move away. But you guys saw I only have one move. I don't even have a move. I just kind of skate across the goal crease and hope the goalie falls over. And Sean vanquished me in the final. So maybe this one will be even more dramatic. I have a feeling it won't be. But whoever's not playing will provide some color commentary for you. So that should be a lot of fun. I may start it at 9:45 instead of 10. But I'll see. I'll talk to the boys and see what we're doing. That's going to be the first night of school as well. But hopefully things won't be too heavy. Regardless, I'll make some announcements on posts on Twitter and on YouTube. But I'd love to see you next week. Okay. No, also not doing it on Twitch. It's funny. I'm so old school and I don't have Twitch. I'm actually going to do it I just bring my phone over to the TV and we just film the TV like from my phone. And then whoever's not playing will type in the chat box and we'll engage. It's a lot of fun actually. And I think you guys will get a kick out of it. So I'm going to hype the heck out of it this week, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I just see, thanks for the great stream, Clay, and great year streams. That's awesome. Okay, so I'll let everyone kind of say goodbye. They're an hour ahead, usually too late for me coming on Monday. No problem, Brett. Okay, awesome. Tell Steve Greg Adams scores. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. I think I missed something. All right, so everyone, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Before you go, make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Make sure you like the video if you haven't liked this video already. And please, 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 no matter what you're doing this week, on Thursday night for New Year's Eve or on Friday for New Year's Day, please, please, please stay safe, stay healthy. Most important thing. And take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And yes, I do remember Greg Adams I hear what you're saying now. Greg Adams had a big series against the Leafs back in '94. So you're saying, tell Steve that Greg Adams scores. Okay, I will mention that to him. Okay, everyone. Thanks a lot. Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. And I'll see you next week for our Emo Boys Showdown. Take care, everyone. See you later.